Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Shang. When people think about social media in non-democratic countries, they think that people can use social media to get information or organize protests. But it also means that the leaders in those authoritarian countries have a better instrument for surveillance, says David Stromberg, professor at the Institute for International Economic Studies at Stockholm University. The Chinese multi-purpose messaging, social media, and mobile payment app WeChat is being used by authorities as a powerful surveillance tool to justify arrests, issue threats, and silence dissidents, reports the Wall Street Journal. WeChat and the sister app Weixin, developed by Chinese tech giant Tencent Inc., have more than 1.2 billion monthly active users in China. Chinese consumers use it to make payments, book flights, hotels, and doctor's appointments, and use government services. Its dominance in Chinese society has become more entrenched this year due to remote working and learning during the coronavirus pandemic. Companies and schools have flocked to WeChat Work, a communication tool for business that is integrated with the WeChat app. In the first quarter this year, governments, businesses, and individuals used WeChat QR codes more than 140 billion times, according to Tencent. A WeChat QR code is used to make payments and also when logging onto different devices and accounts. When people exchange contact details with the app, they often scan the other person's phone. The service is more prevalent than email and other social media sites because services like Facebook are blocked there. Wang Shengsheng, a labor and women's rights lawyer, said authorities were monitoring her WeChat and text messages earlier this year so they could gather evidence to thwart her legal career. Local public security and party discipline officials in her hometown also tracked down her father as part of their efforts to tarnish her reputation, she said. The Chinese government also tapped Tencent and Alibaba to design health rating systems that make up one of the main contact tracing tools to contain the spread of the coronavirus. The health codes embedded within WeChat and Alipay, operated by Alibaba affiliate Ant Group Corporation, have become essential passes in China for entering residence, office buildings, and accessing public transportation. But that utility has come with a cost. WeChat was one of the primary venues where government censors tried to restrict information during the outbreak in Wuhan. In addition to taking down content that was deemed sensitive, users say WeChat routinely blocks accounts for discussing issues ranging from the pandemic to human rights abuses in the Xinjiang region. After users' accounts are blocked, police will often question them. One Beijing-based user who didn't want to be named said he was taken in for questioning several days after his WeChat account was blocked for criticizing China's foreign policy. During the 2-hour interrogation, police officers held printouts of his WeChat chat logs and read out parts that were critical of the Chinese leadership. He was released after signing a pledge that he wouldn't criticize the government again. The problem for many users is that the app has so thoroughly permeated everyday life that shutting it off would be like giving up water or air. If your WeChat account is blocked, you will be in a very awkward situation because it means telling others you have dissenting political views and you will be frowned upon when you are looking for a job. Disturbed by their overdependence on the app, several users started a campaign earlier this year called Free from WeChat, in which they called on peers to migrate to other platforms like Telegram. that are believed to be free of Chinese government interference. They published a manifesto on a Chinese language blogging site matters.news, referring to themselves as digital immigrants who wanted to escape China's internet firewall. After members of the group had convinced a few hundred users to join Telegram, state security officials began calling them and their families in for questioning. Those involved say they ended the campaign in March and told authorities they had no political motives. But the security officials have continued to question and monitor them. China's internet firewall has long blocked foreign sites and messaging apps, including Google, WhatsApp, Telegram, and Facebook. But these can be accessed via virtual private networks or VPNs. Signal, another messaging app, is available to users of Apple Inc.'s iOS, but not Android users. The hassle of setting up a VPN keeps most people from using the sites and apps, which means that those who try to migrate to more secure app can have trouble convincing others to join them. But disenchantment with WeChat appears to have grown over the past year, as more evidence emerged that authorities were increasingly relying on WeChat to control speech and survey dissidents. Download of Telegram and Signal in China iOS stores have been growing steadily over the past few years, according to app tracker Apptopia, though they still have only a fraction of WeChat's user base. Both apps provide end-to-end encryption that prevents any third-party access to communications between the sender and the receiver. Some might say that Western apps are watching their users every step too, and they are right. Google, Apple, or Facebook collect vast amounts of data. But the fundamental difference is that most of the Western democracies have laws guaranteeing the privacy of its citizens. In China, there is no such regulation. On the contrary, the national security law and the new cybersecurity law grant the government access to almost all personal information. And as the example of WeChat show, where there is the possibility to go full Big Brother, Chinese Communist Party has never been shy to do so. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly.